Hi class, welcome to another tutorial on CS 575. So this time we will be basically dealing with standardization, right? So we love standards, right? So we express our units into like SI systems, MKS, CGS and all those systems so that the things are comparable, right? So you cannot compare the mileage of two cars if one car is measuring the distance in kilometer and others in miles, right? So they may say, okay, I traveled 5 and the other person says, okay, I traveled 7. So we cannot compare whether both the car are giving same mileage unless we know that both the cars are measuring either in kilometers or either in miles. Because 5 may be less than 7, but if the car on which has traveled 5 actually is miles, so that means it has traveled 5 into 1.6, that is 8 kilometers per liter. So it will be having more mileage than the other. Right? So to come across these things, there is a standard Z scores or Z scores, whatever you can say it. Right? So what do Z scores specify? Fine. So we had seen this particular example, right? The pocket money example and the CEO salaries example. So we have 6 observations here of the children getting the USDs of pocket money, right? $5, $10, and up to $30. So if you see from 5 to 30, there is quite a bit of variation. From the first value to this value, there is like a 6-time difference. In this case, the mean was 15, but the standard deviation remained 8.16. But in the case of CEO's salary, the difference between the first value, 5 lakh 5 to 5 lakh 30, did not have much of a variation, right? But still, the standard deviation was the same as 8.16. So technically, this was more dispersed as compared to this. Of course, we had a coefficient of variation, but now let us see another thing which can help us to standardize our data. If you see, the mean varies a lot, 15 and 5 lakh 15. This was the reason that the dispersion, even though is same, there is a huge difference between 5 to 30 and 5 lakh and this. So one of the technique that we will see right now is called as standardization. Right? In the AI ML techniques, and if we use scalar library, there are various scalars, min max scalar, 0 to 1, and then we also have a standard scale. The standard scale is nothing but this particular thing. Okay. So what the z-score says, so for every value I that you read, the z of I will be that value subtracted from its mean of the overall sample, and then you need to divide it by standard deviation. Right? So this is not S square, this is not variance, this is simple standard deviation. So now why do we do this, and what properties does a z-score basically provide you? So two useful properties that the z-score provides you is like, first of all, whenever you compare a series of observation, either this or this, to an equivalent z-score, the mean of the observation then reduces to 0. So let us see with an example here. Okay. So for example, for all these values, when you subtract each value from 50 and divide by the standard deviation, you basically will be left with these values, right? So for this value, I am calculating the z-score in this particular table. So you can see basically 5 minus 15 is minus 10. When you divide by 8.16, it will be roughly minus 1.22, right? Similarly for other values. Now you can see when I add all the values, basically this will sum up to 0, right? So once these sum up to basically 0, the mean of the sample actually comes out to 0. Now when the mean comes out to 0, and another property of converting to z-score is that the standard deviation is always 1, right? The standard deviation is also always 1. Even if you see in the next case, when I convert these to a standardized scores, an interesting thing to observe is that on the raw scale, both the values were differing so much, right? By an amount of 5 lakh. But when you convert them to a standardized score, both the scores actually become same. Right? So this shows that even though there is a scaling difference, inherently the contribution of a particular observation is same from a statistical point of view. This is one big advantage of z-scores. Another two advantage is like the mean score of a z-score distribution is always 0 and the standard deviation is 1. Since the standard deviation is 1, the variance is standard deviation square. It also stays 1. Now we see a proof of why the standard deviation and the variance, sorry, the mean and the standard deviations are always 0 and 1. So as we know, z score is xi minus x bar upon s, where s is the standard deviation, right? So now let us do one thing. So what will be the mean of z, right? So it will be summation of all z values divided by n, right? So let me just make this z and x as they were. So now what I do, I substitute this z with this particular value of z, right? So now I take 1 by n, because n is the number of observation. I keep the summation as it is and I replace z with this particular formula. So x minus x bar upon s. Now if you see, the standard deviation for a given observation is always constant, kind of, right? It will be a static value. So by the rule of summation, we can basically take the s out of the equation, right? So now we have x minus x bar. This we are treating as z bar. That is the mean of the z scores. Now if you remember what we are doing here, we are taking every value and subtracting the mean from it. You know that this particular expression leads to 0. Once again, if you want to see the proof, here it is. So when I expand this particular bracket, so this will become summation of all the values minus, because the mean is constant, adding n times the mean. Okay, let me take another step. Since the mean is a constant value, this will become n times x bar. And now we know that sum of all the values minus those n values into the mean will always give us 0, right? So this expression basically turns out to be 0. Right? So this expression turns out to be 0, so it will be 1 by n into 1 by s into 0. Right? So basically z bar basically comes out to 0. So as you can see here, the mean is always 0 when the scores are standardized. Okay? So basically the standardization removes the scaling factor. For example, if I plot these values 5, 10, 11, 15, it will be something of this sort: 5, 10, 15, 20 and 30. Right? If I plot these values, this will be somewhere here. Right? This will be 5 lakh and something of this sort. Right? And this basically is 5, 10, 15 and in this fashion. So only the scaling differs, right? And this scaling is removed by the standardized z scores. Another property is of the standard deviation. Now standard deviation is always 1. Now again we will see that proof why the standard deviation is 1. So let me erase this thing. So first let us write the formula for standard deviation, right? So s square is equal to 1 by n. Since we are calculating for z scores, this is a standard formula, right? The standard deviation. Okay. I mean, we calculate the variance and then we come across the standard deviation taking the square root. So the variance of z square will be 1 by n, and then we sum for n values z minus z bar. In the previous proof you saw that z bar, right, when everything is in z scores, this reduces to 0. So basically the expression comes out like this: z square, right? Because in a normalized z scores, the mean is always 0. Mean is 0 means z bar is 0. So this basically cancels out. Now what I am doing, again I am replacing this z by this particular value. So I do the summation of n x minus x bar upon x the whole square. Again, as I said, s is a constant, right? The standard deviation is always a constant single value. So by the rule of summation, I can take this s square out of the bracket. So I do 1 by n, and since this is a square term, right? So 1 by s square will come out, and I am doing summation of x, sorry, bar the whole square. Now I am just rearranging this term. So 1 by s square into summation of n values let me write it 1 by n. And now if you see, this is nothing but the standard variance that you get, right? Summation of x minus x bar whole square by n. If you can compare these terms and these terms, this is nothing but the standard deviation. So what happens now? Sorry, this is a variance. So 1 by s square into s square. I am replacing this red box by s square. So s square gets cancelled, and the variance basically, the variance of the z square is 1. Since variance is 1, square root of 1 is again 1, and the standard deviation is also 1. Right? So whenever you do some kind of prediction and all these things, it's a very good idea to standardize the scores or standardize the observation, so that the scaling factor is 1 and the mean is 0 and the standard deviation is always 1. Keep in mind one thing, the skewness and kurtosis remains the same irrespective whether you are scaling or not scaling. That's it for this lecture. Have a good day.